Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Welcome to this week's episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy
Howdy.
and Juicebox.
Whip.
And we are back with another episode of My Thumbs Hurt. To the chagrin of Old
Bucky.
Boy.
No,
dude, I love it.
What do you mean you love it?
The title.
Oh, the title.
Not
No,
the
I hate the title.
not the activity.
Yeah. Because, yes, you hate video games.
Yeah, because you guys have heard these episodes before on My Thumbs Hurt. We've reviewed a few video games, and we are back this week with one that these guys have anticipated for quite some time. And I'm pretty sure before we even started the series of My Thumbs Hurt, they had this video game in mind, and it was finally released, and it's the greatest thing ever. And you put it in a 6,000-pound box to play. We'll get into that, but this week we are going to review the smash hit, the global sensation, Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, for PlayStation. Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Get ready to stay up till 6 in the morning with your Doritos and your Sprite.
Did you get them from Amazon?
No.
Yeah, so Juicebox and I played the first Spider-Man and the Miles Morales Spider-Man video games that came out prior. So we're pretty clued in already. So we are excited. We were very excited for this game. And I guess you're saying what, the PlayStation's heavy? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think I wrote this down somewhere because I got bored with the game. So I'm not bored, but I pressed pause. And I just, because my mind just starts wandering,
Sure.
and I said, why is the PlayStation 5 so big? And I'm just staring at it while playing this game, and I'm like, why does it need to be this big?
It is pretty big.
It's bigger than like the CPU from like that box computer you got in high school. I mean, that's set right next to it, the tower or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And that was a computer.
This is a lot more powerful than that, though.
I know it plays video games and DVDs, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yes. And then my mind just kept wondering, and I was like, in a world where everything is so much smaller and compact, what do you need all this space for?
I guess it's just the computing power of the PlayStation to play. What'd you think? How did it look to you?
Incredible.
Right.
I mean, I've not seen anything like this ever.
Right. Okay. I'm glad to hear you say that.
I mean, I think I've seen it in stores and whatever. I've walked by TVs with this,
Well,
but
sure,
be able
but
to play it with the graphics are just, it's out of this world. Because we are all, Spider-Man to me never really started as, I wasn't a comic kid.
Right.
And I didn't watch the Spider-Man cartoons. So Spider-Man really started live action for me, right?
Okay.
And I also think and you guys are going to completely disagree with me, but he is the weakest of all of the MCU characters.
You are you're doing this to fuck with me. I swear to God.
I am not. These are true thoughts, or they wouldn't come out of my mouth.
He's like my favorite superhero.
Well, he's just, there's no to him.
I mean, I don't know. You can have your own opinion. I think you would have a different opinion if you did follow it when you were a kid. There's something about getting into Spider-Man as a kid that I feel like is your entrance, your like gateway into comic books, because it's a kid basically that gets bit by a spider and becomes a superhero.
Sure. Right. But he still has to like pay rent and like hold down a job. So he's relatable. He's not like a rich playboy alien from another planet. He's relatable.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude.
What?
He's a weak. Fuck. All right. So anyway,
I think Hawkeye's relatable. I mean, he has a family. All he does is sling arrows.
You think?
Talk about a weak superhero.
Right.
Dude, guy with
you guys
bow and
wanna-
arrow is the most badass person.
Yeah, who do you?
You want to hear a secret? That's my favorite. I swear to God, that's my favorite superhero.
I don't know how we're friends.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it. Like, Bucky, how did you, at the very first thing when you start swinging around a little bit, the first mission you get into is a fighting against Sandman, which is like an intense battle to start the thing off with.
Boss
Dude,
battle.
here's my initial thoughts. The Sandman thing, because I told Old Boy this, I think, yesterday. I'm
Last
like,
night, yeah.
all this Sandman stuff in the beginning, and then you beat him, and then he comes, like, the Sandman thing comes back, and it's like, that's the first thing that really made me mad. I was like, I went through hell to do this, and now they're back just all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, I chose, because when you log into this, I started this at 4:20 p.m. I ended at 7:20 because the goal of My Thumbs Hurt is to play 3 hours of a game. These guys have probably played 30 so far, and
Sure.
I've played 3 total.
Yeah.
So you get on there and you can choose 4 different difficulty levels, right? So
Right,
I chose friendly. I didn't choose neighborhood
yeah.
friendly.
Right.
I chose friendly.
That's cool.
It's the second easiest, and
Right.
then I was like, and then the opening thing is just like they're in a school, and wait a minute, now Peter Parker is kind of a young substitute teacher, and he's teaching Miles,
Right.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
like it's all driving me insane. Because
Well,
like
'cause
you watch like Into the Spider-Verse. I'm really into Spider-Man now. I still think he's
Right.
weak, but I'm like really, it's creative. It's fun. But like these Spider-Verse movies, like just put Peter Parker and Miles in a different light, I think. And this started weird, and I was like, "Is this a new Spider-Verse? Like this video game is almost
yeah.
Spider-Verse too?"
It's. I mean, it might as well be a different universe. Like it's a Spider-Verse because it's like.
And they
It's
throw
its own
back
universe.
the villains to like the comic book days, right?
Yeah.
That haven't really made the mainstream movies. Some of these villains I haven't heard of before.
No.
I guess I don't know. They're all pretty big Spider-Man villains.
Sandman.
Which one was he in?
Spider-Man 3, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for a while.
He was big in the cartoons and the comics, like
Yeah.
you know, the stuff you didn't pay attention to.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, the swinging test through the city. So I could not figure out how to swing any higher than like 5 feet off the ground.
Oh man.
It was like I was skating through the city, just like.
we talked about it.
Like you're on a Nordic track, just
Yeah, it was such a turn off. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I got running up the building down. I got like initially. And then when I did figure out how to swing up, I couldn't figure out where these webs were going. It just looks like they're going straight to the sky. And
So I'm going to disagree with that a little bit. Like I think they did a good job of showing the web like go towards a building, and like
Yeah,
you can see it
always.
attached to a building. And some of the like if you swing in certain
Exactly,
ways,
yeah.
like it's like they made a conscious effort because the former Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the last Spider-Man game was just like kind of shooting it up in the air, and it was like
Yeah, adhering to nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I asked Bucky last night. He was like, as soon as I saw him, he's like, I fucking hate video games. I was like, oh, God.
that's the
I was
first thing I said
I was
to
like,
him.
are you kidding me, man? I was like, tell me. I was like, did you at least have fun swinging through the city? Because it's like the most fun part. He goes, man, I couldn't even swing. I was like, so how'd you get to mission? You just run?
No, ding dong. That was for my entertainment,
down
our
the street.
conversation. I figured out how to do it. I'm not
Okay,
going to
all
just
right.
spend the whole time swinging 5 feet off the ground. I just couldn't do it in that opening thing.
I was thinking you ran from like mission to mission.
No. And then, okay, so fast forward to Final Showdown with the Sandman, because this thing just stops with like, it starts with nonstop action. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It never
boss
stops
fight.
moving. You're just like, boss fight right off the beginning. I don't even know that term, but it sounds right. And I said, I feel like the Final Showdown with Sandman is controlled button mashing.
There's some button sequences you have to hit on time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least it tells you what to do. Like, it puts the series of buttons you have to hit
Right.
together to do this one thing.
Yeah.
I get that, but my
Right.
brain and my eyes and my hands, I think, are all on different scales at this point. So it disappears off the screen before I remember what it said.
Yeah. Well, you're
Yeah,
not used to the controller either. Like
Right.
it's not
That's
second
true.
nature to just push these buttons without really like thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't taken lessons yet. I feel like it's like you have to take piano lessons just to know which finger goes where. And
I'm intrigued. So on friendly, did you find it difficult? Did Sandman
the
kill you?
first break in the action was 4:53, so it took me what is that? 33 minutes
to beat Sandman.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took me 24,
It
which
a long
was
fight.
a long time for me. It felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I something Juicebox and I were talking about is we found it a little more difficult. I played it on Amazing, I think.
Yeah, I played on that one too.
And then it cuts to this jungle scene, and then I was like, holy shit, like this is where I was blown away. The fucking opening credits. Like I thought the game, like you were just in the game and this was what the game was going to be.
Right.
And then the opening credits, and it was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like
welcome to video games.
I was impressed.
Welcome to video games.
Yeah, welcome to the visualization of video games, or the visuals, because those are cool. It's just like watching a cartoon or something on TV.
It looked amazing, and right off the bat, that character like grabs somebody and breaks their neck. So it's like, okay, this is like a straight up R-rated type game, or you know, it's not a kid's Spider-Man game.
Right. Get off friendly.
So the next, the next thing I've got on my list, and I want to ask you guys what you guys thought. I just wrote down L1 plus R1 is my favorite move, and now I don't even remember what that was.
That's like zip to the ledge, I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
And the swinging around of any object. I just wanted to do that.
Yeah. That was.
So
Oh,
you
that's what
grab
it was.
something
Yeah,
and-
that's
and twirl it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes back to like those games like The Simpsons, or those walkthrough games where you're always seeing an object and you want to be the first one to get to it. It's like just a little extra thing to do.
That's it, man. So, all right, I bet you have a complaint. I'm wondering if your complaint. So, like, part of being a Spider-Man is he also helps people, right? He doesn't just fight people.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always like helping people do this or that. So there's like a lot of little errands you have to run and helping out the neighborhood, right? Do you have to do any of those? Did you get into any of that?
Later on, I mean, it wasn't
Right,
then, because
okay.
you still have to play through some of this stuff. Like I said 5:20 p.m., so exactly 1 hour after I started, I died the first time fighting the bank robbers.
Okay.
And then I died at 5:23 p.m. Fighting the same bank robbers.
They're generic. The characters are a little. The people you fight are a little generic. They're all the same. You know what I mean? So that's a complaint I have. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So did you make it past the bank robbers?
I did. And then I said, now this sand dude is back. What the fuck? That was already hard enough. That's exactly what I wrote down. That was already hard enough.
Yeah. Dude.
Is that when the sand people keep coming back to fight you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found the combat challenging personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down that it is tough, but it's so like smooth and fluid. And as I've played the game like a little bit more, like I can feel the crispness of it. Crispness. That's hard to
word.
say. Yeah, because it feels everything feels super responsive, and I feel like I'm totally in control of the character. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just button mashing. I'm like doing moves.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at it too. The more
And
I
it's
play,
so satisfying, man. Sometimes you get somebody, whip them up in the air, and you like sling them down to the ground, and then shoot them with spider webs, and they just like stick to the ground. There's like so many ways to take out the bad guys.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
so rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets like a little hard spider arms that come out of the back of him that come over.
Oh yeah.
That's one move.
Yeah.
I remember that. No, but go back to your question. You said, did you do any of the side challenges? Because in this game, it is a storyline, but there are these little side things that you kind of have to do. And one of them, I've just got irritated at this point.
You're fine.
You know me. I don't like to play video games. So
Right.
I said, now I actually have to save a VIP stuck in a limo. Like, what? Why is Spider-Man doing this?
He does a lot of silly stuff in the game, honestly.
Right.
Like, he helps a lot of people out there.
I mean, that VIP turned out to be that
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, the newspaper guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was part of the storyline, but I was like, dude, this because you're saving like a couple of people before that,
Right. And then you're hauling his ass around.
yeah. Or you're moving big trucks so the cops can get through or something like that.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So all right, so
That's one thing I wrote down is like, that's the thing that kills me about these Sony games is like these weird, just like like busy work type missions. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're not fighting anything, you're not doing anybody. You're going through this thing and like moving some trucks out of the way or doing some
Exactly.
like crawling through some vents, and which is cool at first, but I don't know. There's so many of those types of missions that just kind of like kill the pace of the game.
Right. Did y'all get to the part where you're flying drones?
No.
I feel like I should have. I don't know.
Or did you shoot a drone off into the sky for somebody? It was right at the beginning. You shoot something in the sky for Genki, I think.
I do not remember that at all.
I'm sure I did it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm just glad I have notes because I probably wouldn't have remembered very much of this game.
So it's at the beginning because you have to send these drones out to get to get the app back up that you use.
Yeah.
So you shoot it, but then so I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I wonder if there will be like more of these. There's no more of that. Like that was it. It was just like a weird little mechanic. It was like, hey, okay, here's you flying a drone.
That is it's so random I don't even barely remember that mission.
Right. Yeah. There's little things like that I was kind of like, it was just throwaway things.
I also want to talk about like some of the storyline stuff because there's a lot of times where there's breaks in the game, and you can obviously skip through it, I'm sure, by hitting a button, but we are tasked to play this game 3 hours straight through. So you kind of have to watch some of these storylines. And I mean, some of it was memorable, like when he found the hole he punched in the wall behind that picture or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But did you guys check out like the maybe it was like a side mission or something? I'm getting everything confused, but there was like a mortgage, like they were late on the mortgage, and it showed the mortgage up close, and it was $4,476 per month.
Yeah.
Like my wife was walking through and she saw that, and she was like, "That seems high," and just kept walking.
Well, it's New York.
Yeah. It's in,
okay.
Like
It's New
Astoria, New York or something. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, one of the suburbs of New York.
Yeah.
I don't know how to qualify that, what
Yeah.
it is. But yeah, it is New York City.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
see,
if you
that's
come down to Nashville, you can get like a lot of land here for way cheaper than that
Spider-Man.
mortgage.
Or you could probably get a house over in 12 South for $4,000
There you
a
go.
month.
Yeah, there you go.
Trying to get Spider-Man to move to Nashville.
No.
So, but that's Peter Parker, man. He's got to pay the mortgage.
Yep.
He's not,
And he doesn't have a job except for Spider-Man.
Yep. He's like us, man.
I think I'm also a Star-Lord fan.
Okay.
Man, we should have played Guardians of the Galaxy then.
We could have played that.
Ooh, see, I might have been into that one. Can you play as Rocket?
Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
you
it's
bounce around.
the thing that's weird though is it's not like Star-Lord from the MCU movies. It's like a different, a slightly different version.
Like they
of him.
didn't get the rights to him.
No,
They didn't get the rights to Chris Pratt or whatever, I guess.
Neither did the pinball machine. It's the same thing.
Is it the guy for Back to the Future's kid also?
It's a memory that just stuck in my head. More storyline stuff in the school part, like the high school flashback thing. Reminded me of the Jurassic Park kitchen scene.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, was that a throwback to it or something? Because it looked almost just like it.
I mean, yeah, when he was ducking down around the end of the shelf there or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good call.
Dang. So you got to the school and you had to like go through the school and
Yeah, that's about it. Climbed on I had to get up on the roof or the ceiling or whatever and climb around and go through some
Ducks
windows
or
and
something,
I had to knock a trash can over and like distract a janitor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's about as far as you got though.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, that sounds about right for 3 hours, I think.
Yeah. I was just trying to do straight up like story missions the whole time. I didn't do any side missions. I was like, how far can I make it into the story? And I can't remember the exact last mission I did, but I made it 12% into the game in 3 hours. So that's not really very far, and just concentrating on just the main storyline either.
It seemed like a lot because you and I were texting, and I was 14%, and I was like, I feel like that's a lot of accomplished. That's a big percentage to me, and I felt like I barely did anything.
Yeah.
So I was a little worried about that.
I don't know. I've continued playing it on, and it seems like there's plenty of stuff to do. Like there's no shortage of missions and other stuff. So let's talk about one of the new things in the game, the flying.
Oh yeah.
Did you get to fly around the city? Did you take
like
advantage
once.
of that?
That was easier than webbing. You call it
Swinging.
webbing.
That is such an awesome addition to the game. Like
Dude,
it is.
hell yeah.
I mean, being able to fly through New York City. Like I wish I knew New York City better so I could like appreciate like
Sure.
probably the
Yeah.
detail they put into it.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's like an open world, which you're right,
Yeah.
it's cool, but it's so big that you need to exactly know how to swing and fly, and that's how you get from place to place.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time walking around.
Spider-Man just walking around high-fiving people. Because people will come up to you and high-five you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. The wingsuits are awesome, man. Great addition. And then it seems like I guess there's a lot more like powers, I guess.
Yeah, there's so many ways to get powered up or whatever.
Yeah.
So many different power-ups. One of the other things that I wrote down was, I don't know if you noticed it, but you get wear and tear on your suit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, kind of neat
Very
little,
cool.
neat little detail.
Speaking of suits, did you guys have a favorite suit? Did you even know you could change your suits?
I figured out a couple of things on the pause button or
On the
whatever.
menu? All right.
Yeah. It was like an orangish red suit or something.
All right. So you
Like once.
want? All right, that's fair enough. So you tricked out a suit.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then I found so many more things that you can do in this menu. And I found it like 2.5 hours into this 3-hour.
All right.
It's so much. There's so many things on that menu because there's so many different power-ups and so many different like skills and
Gadgets
just
and-
gadget. Yeah, I mean, even for somebody that's played a lot of video games and played a Spider-Man game before, it was a bit
A
overwhelming.
lot, dude. Yeah, the suits, man. I don't know how far. I know we're only talking about the first 3 hours, but do you have a favorite suit?
Gosh, see, it's tough for me. I don't know because one of my favorite suits is like the black suit that you get, but that's like past 3 hours into the game.
Right. Yeah,
so,
it's way out there.
But I like Miles, like his Spider-Verse suit because
Dude,
they
I rock that suit a lot. Yeah.
that one's cool, and same with the
the noir spider. Noir.
yeah, with the
Dude,
big cape, and it's got the weird animation that looks like it's like
from the movie.
yeah.
Dude. It's that animation. It's like that animation from the movie. It's surreal looking because everything else looks like present day.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope, man. I was a big fan of that.
So this isn't my cup of tea. So you guys have these rating things, right? I think
Right.
we've rated everything on a 5-tier rating system or five different rates.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
stars, and we got out of 5, and we have 5 different categories. So first one is story. This is always going to be a tough one because you're only playing for 3 hours, so you get a little bit of the story.
Right.
It was captivating.
Did you watch the previously on, like the previously,
You mentioned this. I don't know what you're talking about.
like when you start the new game, you can, it's like start new game is like previously, catch up on like a recap. You could choose it. So
It's like a season recap on a TV series.
So it gives you like the first 2 games and a synopsis.
I don't think I saw that.
Okay.
Well, I'll get it kicked off. I mean, I think story is easily 4 or 5. I mean, I'm probably going to rate a lot of this good because I just don't know about anything. But it was cool. I mean, it was whatever. It kept my attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm gonna give it I guess I give it a 5. I guess I got no problem with the story. I'm in it. So
Yeah, so that's the thing too. Like I know we're supposed to only talk about the first 3 hours, but I'm way further than 3 hours in, and the story is good. Like
Yeah.
it's solid, and it gets better, and there's some twists in it. I also like too that just like Craven is just such a menacing bad guy. Like
Right,
he straight
yeah.
up kills Scorpion, like one of the major
bad guys.
yeah, one of the major Spider-Man bad guys just kills him like quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the story. I think it's solid.
I'm down.
Next is gameplay.
Dude, I don't know how to rate 4. Whatever I've rated before, a Saints Row and WWE 2K23.
Was it easier than those?
Easier than those.
Okay, so yeah.
Or I could do more cool things without
watching
not
a
really
tutorial.
knowing how to do them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're just giving me the answers on the
Right.
screen.
The controls on this game are night and day compared to the other two games that we
Yeah,
played.
absolutely.
Like they're so responsive and so fluid. Like I was talking about earlier, they're perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it gets my highest rating.
Yeah, same. All right, next is art design or graphics or whatever you want to call it.
Like 6.
Yeah,
We're going out of 5.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. It gets top notch, man.
I think it's top notch too. The one thing, this is what I want to bring up, is like, for some reason, Peter Parker's face bothers me. It doesn't look natural. Like the
He
other
looks like
people,
a kid
kind
as a
of
substitute teacher.
I guess kind of like it's like they kind of try to make his face look like Tom Holland a little bit or something, and then like
it too.
yeah, they changed it from the original one, and it's like it looks weird because you can tell like the dude that's playing Harry is like motion captured, and if you look up that guy, like that guy
It looks
looks
like
like
him.
that guy, like he looks like Harry. So it's like, but I don't know if they're not doing that for Spider-Man because they're trying to make him look like Tom Holland, and it's just like his face is just a little off. It has that uncanny valley thing that we talked about like in the last game.
Yeah, I do agree there. There's something I don't care what they like the original and they changed it and all that, but
Yeah.
there is something just weird looking about it.
Yeah, it's just something that's a little
Yeah.
off, and I don't know if it's just because they changed it and I was used to the other way, but it seems weird. I don't know. It
the
bothers
rest-
me a little bit.
The rest of the game looks so good. So there's a fast travel, that you can use fast travel to get from this part of the city to this part of the city once you unlock it. And I found myself being like, nah, man, I'm just gonna swing. I'm just gonna swing through the damn city
So-
to get to wherever I want to go.
Have you done the fast travel?
I have, and it's awesome.
It's so badass. It's like instantaneous. Like in the last game, you had to, if you did fast travel, you had to wait like basically on
Yeah.
the loading screen.
Yeah.
And on this, it's just like you fly to the exact part of the city that you like clicked on, basically.
Yeah, basically, man. It's a cool transition too.
Yeah.
It's dope.
So I'm gonna give art design. I'm gonna say 5, even though I was complaining about his face. It's still a 5.
It's still 5.
4.99999.
Repeating.
Yeah.
All right. Next is challenge.
Man.
5. Is that hardest or
Yeah,
what?
it is,
Yeah,
it
5
is-
is the hardest.
It is challenging.
10.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I started on spectacular, and then I took it down to amazing because I was getting my fucking ass kicked. And from there, I mean, it's challenging, but it's nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 4 because I've just been playing it on amazing or whatever. I didn't try spectacular, but it's been pretty challenging, but not like over the top. Like I
Yeah.
haven't had to go down a difficulty level or anything. If I had to go down to friendly, then I would say this is a 5.
I'm with you.
Okay, and overall,
I mean, it gets aces from me. It's the best
4.
because he's weak.
No, because you guys. Here's the thing. You told me that Red Dead Redemption 2 was the greatest
Right.
game ever made.
You're right.
Yeah.
Where does this rank to you against that game?
So it's different,
It is different.
but it's up there. I've had just as much fun playing it as I had playing Red Dead Redemption.
Sure.
I'm also I was kind of in awe of Red Dead Redemption when I was playing it because the world is just so like detailed and just so like incredibly like, I don't know, everything just seems very
Everything.
natural, and everything seems very natural in this too, but the graphics are like 10 times better than Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, and there's something. Red Dead's also like you're making choices. You don't really get any choice in this. You're really just kind of on a linear storyline.
Yeah, that's another good point.
Okay. So that's our rating, right?
That's it, yeah.
And it's pretty much favorable across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you had a few notes, and I've got a few too. Do you want to like bring those up?
Just like little detail things that they throw in there, like grabbing the gun away from somebody and whipping it back at them. Like that is very
Right,
satisfying.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I was there's a couple of things like that I like are on a negative thing for me. Like some of the mini games in the past games were a lot better.
Yeah.
The mini games in this kind of like I'm like this is dumb. Like I don't know. I just don't care about them.
Yeah, there's not a lot. It's just the Mysterio things, right?
Just Mysterio, and then sometimes you're doing stuff for like the school or the
Oh yeah, yeah.
medical thing, and it's like you're doing a formula or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. I enjoyed them from past games, but I felt like pretty weak on that.
I found those Mysterio things to be a little bit glitchy too. Like there was a couple times where I was like made it through in time, but there was like one last person I was supposed to beat, but they were just disappeared. Like there was nobody there. There was like some other like glitch that kept me from finishing on time.
Fuck that. Yeah, that's frustrating.
But I'm not going to let that spoil it because there's so many other good things about this game.
Oh no, it's great.
Yeah, before you guys move on, can I just tell you something really quick
Please.
about Spider-Man 2? I actually have a confession to make, and I want to come clean. We were tasked with playing 3 hours of Spider-Man 2. That's part of what we do on My Thumbs Hurt. What if I told you I didn't play a single minute of this game?
You let Asher do it?
What if I told you I watched 3 hours of Spider-Man 2 and my 13-year-old played this game all the way through and I was there for every step of the way?
I would call you a charlatan, man.
You would?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be awesome because we actually have the perspective from a 13-year-old. We've done an interview with Asher reviewing Spider-Man 2.
Sweet.
And we're going to cut to that right now.
So in the studio we have Bucky's kid. Great. That's his gamer handle, and surprise to us, he played Spider-Man 2 instead of Bucky. So we're going to ask you a few questions, my man. So yeah, number one, what was your overall impression of the game?
It was amazing.
Right.
It was so awesome. Just to do everything, to swing around once you unlocked like flips and stuff. I went deeper into using skill points on like movement abilities instead of using it on a lot of combat things. So I had like the windmill. I had the
windmill
where he dives down and then swing. Oh,
it's all right.
Where he dives down and then swings around a singular point.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now,
so were you good at doing that?
I was pretty good at movement. I was definitely good at getting from place to place pretty fast.
Because I had always had a hard time with the windmill thing. I felt like I was like crashing into buildings every time I tried to like swing that fast. Because something about the dive bomb, I always get out of control when I'm doing that.
Sometimes, yeah, that's cool. Now, like as far as other games you're playing, how would you compare Spider-Man to the games you're playing?
It was definitely a new experience. I play a lot of games that are more sandbox, so I don't really dive into that.
This is kind of
that
sandbox, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. I play more games like Geometry Dash and Terraria and Minecraft.
Okay,
like
I see what you mean.
I'm more in that section of gaming.
I gotcha. Okay, all right, cool.
So like we were talking about swinging. How much fun is just swinging through the city and exploring the city?
I could do it all day. I could,
right?
I could do it for a year. I could just sit there and swing. Get like Cheetos, I don't know.
Some Mountain Dew?
Get just Cheetos, Coke, and something with actual substance.
I mean, that's the closest any of us will ever be to being Spider-Man.
It's so fluid. Like the swinging is so fluid and so feels natural. How much flying did you do?
Oh, I did a lot of I would get really high with like the windmill, and then I would glide, and I would glide over water because I love to glide over water. And the little one, my brother, the little guy, liked to watch me skate on the water.
Oh yeah,
for a couple seconds.
Yeah. So speaking of Spider-Man. In your opinion, is Spider-Man weak compared to other superheroes?
No.
Exactly, right?
Depends on the superhero. Some of them, like Professor X's son has like literally every superpower.
Legion?
So if you compare him to some specific cases,
but he's a pretty.
He's a niche. He's a niche.
Like physical strength, he's got to be like one of the strongest human superheroes, right? Like Hulk's stronger, obviously.
That doesn't transform or draw on some supernatural. It's literally just
beat 'em up power.
Yeah. Awesome.
And also spider sense in this game.
Absolutely.
Are you going to make Bucky buy you a PlayStation for Christmas?
No.
The answer is yes.
No.
No.
I wish.
You have an
I
opportunity.
wish,
You have
but
a
they would
platform.
not give.
You have a platform. Man.
They would not give. My parents would not give in to that.
Y'all hear that, everybody? We need to start a GoFundMe for Greg.
Yes, please.
Would you want to take over Bucky's spot in our podcast where we review video games?
I don't think he likes the reviewing video games, so yes, I would absolutely love to fill in on those parts that he wouldn't quite understand, he wouldn't be quite as good at.
Right. Were you embarrassed for him when he made you play, when he handed over the sticks?
No, I was he gave me a warning and I was like, "Yes, please." I didn't really care. I was just happy that I was getting to experience this wonderful, wonderful game. I swear, if this doesn't win Game Awards, it's...
Oh, it's for sure.
Oh, it's got
going,
to.
It's going to, for sure. Juicebox is going to run through some of our rankings, and then you just give us your 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, I guess.
Yep. Okay. We'll start off with the story. How did you like the story of the game?
The story was... I'd say it's like on a scale of 5, it'd be like a 3 or a 4. It's good. It's good, but it's not like it doesn't outshine everything else. Normally the story is like you're focusing on you wanna do that story, you wanna find the next bit. With this game, it's like there's so much else that you could be doing.
Right.
Sometimes with the story, like the carnival, I just wanted to get out of there and swing around.
Yeah,
like
I
I
hear you.
was like
And
praying that I could end it.
And in the story's defense, you only got a couple of hours playing it, so
Right.
it's there's more there, but that's fair. I think that's fair
Right.
for you.
I only got to where Harry is revealed to have the symbiote.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
Symbiote.
That's pretty far for 3
Right.
hours.
Yeah.
Symbiote.
Yeah. That's what I felt. All right.
So let's move on to the next one. The next one is gameplay. So I
know that's a general concept, but just gameplay overall.
Gameplay overall, 5 out of 5.
Sweet. Same.
I think we all gave it a 5 out of 5 too. Okay, art design or like graphics, basically.
Graphics. I mean, it's on the PS5, so it does automatically have some nice
level,
graphics,
yeah.
some pretty very good graphics. I'd say on the graphics level, 4 out of 10. It doesn't like give you. It really gives you like a full experience, but you don't like feel as if you are. You feel like you're watching Spider-Man, and it feels
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
good, but not perfect. Like there's
Okay.
things it could
Always
that could
room
be-
for improvement. All
always
right.
room for improvement.
All right. Perfect.
All right, next one is challenge. How challenging is the game?
I was forced to play on friendly, so he didn't trust that I'd be good enough. But I did wipe through most of everything that came in my path.
Right. All right.
Okay, and so like the last one is just overall. Out of 5, what do you rate this game?
Yeah. If you had to give it a final rating.
4.5 out of 5. There's definitely
Alright.
some things they could like make the story more of a fixed
More
point,
intriguing?
more intriguing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what they could do with the graphics, but it definitely feels like it's lacking something. Like there could it just seems like
Okay.
there's something they could add. I also wish they could have made Peter a little bit more compelling, because I think Peter is supposed to be the main character, but Miles is just
He shines.
better.
Yeah, I feel
Miles
the same
is
way.
just better. I don't want to play as Peter. I don't want to switch to Peter to do the carnival main quest. I want to stay as Miles and keep rescuing lion costumes and
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, man. Well, great. Thanks. It was great having you on here. And we appreciate you filling in for Bucky. And next time we have a My Thumbs Hurt episode, we'll be sure to call you. Maybe it'll be Baldur's Gate 3.
My Thumbs Hurt episode.
Oh, yeah. Bucky calls these episodes My Thumbs Hurt. Yeah, I was thinking about...
So he's whining about not being able to play very
correct.
well.
Yeah. He played the very first video game he played. He's like, man, my thumbs hurt. And like, whoa, dude. I was thinking about calling it up, down, left, right.
Right?
Right?
With a question mark.
With a question mark. Anyway. All right, man. Well, dude, thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the basement.
So that was a lot of fun. And I didn't mean to just completely interrupt your trajectory because we've ranked this game. We've heard from a 13-year-old.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had problems swinging, not you.
No, I had the problem of swinging. Okay, so
you got the sticks
let me
minutes
admit
or like...
this because you've heard that now. Let me admit this. He let me play for like 5 minutes, like total, and I literally he asked for the controller back when I could not get 5 feet off the ground. Now that is a completely true story.
Oh my god!
I could run up a building and I could jump over a building.
Okay.
But this kid is incredible, right? Played 3 hours, then I had to go to work, played 3 more hours, woke up the next morning, played like 3 or 4 more hours, and if you got that game back, it was at least 16-19%.
So
right?
what did he think about it?
So here's what I have to say to you and our audience out there. Fuck both of you, because now I have to buy fucking PlayStation 5 and Spider-Man 2 for Christmas.
Damn.
Man, that's kind of on you. If you would have done your own work, you wouldn't have to buy that PlayStation.
If I wouldn't have told him, I figured it was a way to bond, man. It was like, we don't get this much time together. This is something he's interested in. We have nothing in common.
And you have to do it, so you're like, here, man, tell you what.
Yeah.
Just think how much you guys can bond once you buy that PlayStation.
Yeah, man.
only $700 and 10 pounds on my mantle. Well, this was a fun exercise. I think I'm brewing up my next breakup letter, to be honest with you. But we are so excited that you guys tune in to us each and every week here on Bucky's Basement. Even if you play video games or not, we hope you enjoyed the episode. If you didn't know, we are on YouTube every day. It comes out the day before Monday, which when we release our episodes. Go to buckysbasement.com. Keep listening. Have an insanely wonderful holiday season. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, tell your mama then.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive.